to hold NC State to just 34 rushing yards. How pleased were you with your run defense?
Yeah, when we challenged those kids, I thought our front and I thought the two inside linebackers really did a good job. They were hard to block, and because they had some plays that were good run concepts, and I think we just whipped blocks. And so yeah, we went in saying, Coach Brown reminded me a few times last week about the last 28 games, or I guess 29 games in the series now. Whoever won the rushing title was going to win. So we kind of went in saying we were going to take away the run and make them throw it. And I think once that got established, then it became a pretty one-sided game.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's move over to Dina King. Go ahead, Dina.
Hey, Coach, some of your younger guys got a lot of snaps against NC State. How are they progressing?
We kind of made a decision. We were going to, with some of the young D linemen, we were going to put them in and let them play, and they've really come a long way. Tim's done a nice job with them. This has been a little bit of a different year, and every kid's been a little different situation. So I think we're getting to the point now where you're seeing some kids that are starting to hit their stride as far as, knowledge base in the defense and fundamentals of the defense. And so you're seeing Clyde Pender play more. You're seeing Miles Murphy play more. You're seeing Hester play more. You're seeing Rucker play more. Desmond, we were planning on playing him more the last week, and it just didn't work out that way. But I think all those kids are playing more, and I think Conley is a lot healthier now, and I think he'll play more too. So I think we've got a lot of freshmen that are really good players, and are starting to earn more and more reps.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ross Martin, go ahead.
Hey, Jay, I'm going to have a direct follow-up to that question. Can you kind of get into particulars on what you saw on tape from Miles Murphy and Clyde Pender and Desmond Evans, some of those linemen that got a lot of time in the second half on Saturday?
Yeah, I thought Miles did terrific. I thought he was really disruptive. A couple plays, he really got, a lot of push on the pass rush. And that's something I think he can do. He is for a young kid, he's got a lot of skill as a pass rusher. And I think that'll continue to improve. But I thought he played really hard. And then, Clyde, it was really his first, chance to play. And I think the key thing with Clyde and with Cam and Rucker, when we put those two in, it wasn't like, the last two series of the game where the game was at hand. We put them in. I mean, the sack fumble that Desmond recovered, those two guys were in for that snap. So, I think Clyde did a nice job when he was in there. And then, and Desmond, you're going to see Des just play more and more and more every week, I think, at this point.
Great. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, Andrew Jones. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, Coach, when fall camp started, I guess maybe one of the deepest groups in the team was the secondary, but you guys have lost a lot of people. How challenging has it been in recent weeks to just kind of game plan, knowing what personnel you're going to have from week to week? Also, when some guys are kind of moving around different positions during the course of the game?
Andrew, honestly, we're pretty happy with who's playing for us. And I don't know, Miles Woolfolk's situation was a different situation, but other than that, I really, and Storm getting hurt. I mean, I think Storm's one of our best players, but the guys that are playing for us, we think very highly of. I think very highly of Hollins. I mean, I think Ladace DeAndre Hollins. He is a really good player who I think was going to play a lot and kind of got tweaked injury wise and has kind of got back into it. So. I think the thing that really impresses me about, that it's a lot of young kids. I mean, most of them are sophomores, and so we're able to move them around. Don Chapman played some corner. A lot of it's more like matchup, like we want this guy on this guy. And I think when you can do that, then you got a really good chance to cover people.
Last year, you had to throw Ladace into, I guess it was the Duke game, the Virginia game, and kind of coach him up real quickly, and he kind of dealt with something here this past week. Could you kind of expound a little bit more on whatever that X factor he has that's enabled him to step up and play well in those situations?
So when we first got here, we weren't sure what he was going to be because he's a big kid. And I was like, maybe he's a nickel, maybe he's a safety. And we kind of tried him at some different spots, and he kind of settled in at nickel. And then, last year with some of the corner injuries, we ended up moving him back to corner. But I feel really strongly now he's a corner and a really good one. And but he's he's a competitive kid. He's a tough kid. He's really smart. And so I mean, we function better with him out there, I think. So I think you'll see him continue to play as long as he's healthy, most of the snaps.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Sure.
All right, Greg Barnes, go ahead.
Good morning, Jay. After the game on Saturday night, Mac was kind of scratching his head about what happened defensively there at the end of the first half, both in the state game and the Florida State game. What's your explanation for how things transpired there?
I think Florida State did a bad job as a D coordinator, getting us the right calls. I think against NC State, we had we got them into a 3rd and 8. We had exactly the route we thought we were going to get, and we didn't defend it very well. So
just kind of,
I think the bigger challenge for us right now is getting our kids to understand the importance of the last 5 minutes of the half, and that and I thought the offense did a great job coming back and getting a field goal. Especially with us getting the ball in the second half, like if we stop them right there, that's a huge. We talking about complementary football in the middle 8. I think the middle 8's a big thing we talk about with our defensive kids. The last 4 of the first and the first 4 of the second. And I think we've done a really nice job in the second half, but we've got to get our mind right and get get them to understand better that last drive of the second quarter has not gone our way. So we'll continue to work at it.
I was going to expand on that. I was going to ask, you mentioned the last 5 minutes. In terms of practice, is there a last 5 minutes drill? Is there a 2-minute drill? How do you address that with them specifically?
Yeah, we do it every Wednesday. And we spend time. We do it in preseason camp. I think we have to. I got to do a better job getting it emphasized because we're not getting it done right now.
Thanks, Jay.
All right, Gregory Hall, go ahead.
Hey, Jay, what is your scouting report of the Virginia offense?
I got a lot of respect for Coach Mendenhall and their staff. They do a lot. I don't think I've ever seen anybody play as many quarterbacks as they've played this year. Some at the same time. So, I mean, you're out there and you're like, wait a second, isn't that kid a quarterback too? It's a challenge. It's a lot of formations. It's a lot of plays. And then I think they do a really good job of, I think number 5, the starting quarterback's a really good player. Obviously he missed some time. But the kids that come in and play, and it's kind of a wildcat quarterback situation. They do a really nice job. We're going to, and we've been, when they get, I watched a little bit of them on Friday before the NC State game, so I kind of knew what we were getting into. And then I watched the Miami game and saw it, and we spent a lot of time in the off season on these guys, and I expect it to pay off. But they create a real challenge for you.
What have you learned, and what do you think your team has learned about having to prepare week in and week out for multiple quarterbacks?
Yeah, I mean, we certainly have seen some interesting quarterback scenarios, the last few weeks. I think our kids have done a good job of understanding, what each quarterback presents. And I think the thing we've been able to do, I think, is kind of say, hey, look, if this is the quarterback, this is the game plan. If this other kid's the quarterback, that's the game plan. And I think it'll be similar against Virginia.
Thanks, Jay.
Sure.
All right, Lucas Tomei, go ahead, Lucas.
Hey, Coach. Your defense has given up some yards to rushing quarterbacks this season. Brennan Armstrong for UVA had 91 rushing yards against Miami's defense last week. How are you guys taking that into this upcoming game's preparation?
A lot. Is that a good answer? We're certainly going to we are very well aware of our lack of success for rushing quarterbacks. Coach Brown has reminded us of that a few times. And we're going to spend a lot of time this week preparing for that. So I think we've seen some really bad examples of defending the quarterback run. So I think we've got hopefully we can put some good examples in practice and in the game Saturday.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll close up today with Ross Martin. Go ahead, Ross.
Great. I got another one here for you, Jay. I was wondering if you could take us inside your mind on that Don Chapman interception, that whole play, your range of emotions as you saw that play happen.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of like the the Little League basketball coach when the kid crosses half court and launches up a 3-pointer and you yell, "What are you doing?" And then you go, "Nice shot," when it goes in. So we did not handle that very well. It was a really good sequence of plays by them. I think they got us thinking it was one formation and it was a different formation. Don didn't do a very good job, but I think the lesson we told our kids on, yesterday was when you play really hard, sometimes good things happen. And, he chased the ball really hard. And luckily the ball got tipped and he was able to make a play. But yeah, I would say my emotion, the range of my emotions was pretty wide on that rep there, Ross.
And what's going on with Don playing some corner? What's kind of going on in the secondary to have him play out there and rotations and whatnot?
So some of it is matchup. Some of it is, Don's a big, a little bit longer, bigger body. So some of that is that. Some of it is trying to keep our best guys on the field. We don't really want to take Trey off the field. And so, we if you move Trey out to corner, he's our smallest guy. And NC State's receivers are huge. So we just, and we thought a year ago when he played corner against him, we thought he had some problems at times with him just on one-on-one balls. So that was part of it. Now, the other part of it is, we thought, against Florida State, we needed to have some better tacklers at some spots. And so we were trying to manage where we thought the run defense would need a little bit better tackler. And honestly, Cam Kelly was a corner when he first got here. We train all our guys to play corner. And then if you need to go out there and play corner, you can. That's kind of our mindset. So it's not something that's real foreign to him.